beginning.
Where's the, I mean, you have to have the whole structure.
Yeah. And right at the very beginning, I said, we don't reward people for other people's success.
So the whole for things are useless if you don't have a way for people to optimize their own survival.
And one of the huge big challenges when you start thinking about how you do this supervision is just that. What are you going to reward people for? What are you going to do that? How are you going to build that into the organization? And if you don't, your products will fail, your services will fail. I agree with you fully. Let me go on. I just wanted to show you that this thing actually matters. Okay? I'm going to put a handful of companies out there. General Motors, in the early 20th century, wonderful. Wonderful. Did brilliantly. The moment we went to this, the lean and manufacturing world, lean enterprise world, it went all the way to the other side. Apple. Yeah. 1990s, you were calling it great. Today it's struggling, like nobody's business, has no idea what's going to do. And everybody's saying they're going to break up the Bed-Del model and do something else. The fundamental innovation they created, they're saying break it up. Okay? Hewlett-Packard. You're going to software-based collaboration systems. They're actually created amazing internal software they have been trying to market to others, which allow people to collaborate with each other. Toyota, somebody had mentioned Toyota earlier, right? Toyota is one of those companies which moved over and kept up with every stage. It was fascinating when I wrote this book. One of the people that I sent it to is a gentleman by the name of Takahito Fujimoto, who was a colleague of mine when we were doing our doctorates at the Harvard Business School. And he is one of the true experts on the world automobile industry. A lot of the stuff that we know about the lean enterprise system came from his research work. And I sent him the book, and Taka read the book, and he wrote a nice blurb for the book. But what surprised me was what he wrote. And he wrote that Toyota actually moved over to this model about the same time as Nokia, Hewlett-Packard, and a couple of other companies did. But he didn't think it would work outside Japan. And so Toyota, we still talk about lean enterprise and Toyota's long past lean enterprise. And the last one that I was talking about, Nokia, which actually embraced it in 1995 and said, we will become a network company. We're going to do everything through networks. Has a huge impact. Doctrines of good management. What works in one period does not work in the next. If you cannot shed the way you look at the world and think about this network and say, okay, how do I manage it? We're going to be very difficult. Because we won't do the types of things that you mentioned. We won't rethink our incentive systems. We won't rethink our cultures. That's what will keep our products and services from succeeding. So, who is at risk? A few years back, I did what I believe is one of the largest surveys of large companies in North America. There were actually about 548 companies in the survey. They were ranged from $500 million to $10 billion. And I interviewed with a team, courtesy of SAP, people at the director, vice president, senior vice president, general manager levels at these 548 companies. And we asked them about everyday normal problems that happen in networks. And we asked them, when this happens, or if it happens, does it happen frequently? And if it happens, does it pose a serious threat to you? Here's what they said. Don't worry about the exact numbers, but think about this. 30 to 40% of them report severe operating problems. About 22 to 50% report frequent problems, network-based problems. So wait a minute. Lean, talent scorecard, best IT technologies, Why are we seeing this? Should we be seeing this? All those tools, we are not fundamentally rethinking how we manage. Yes, no, maybe? Agree, disagree? What do you do? My perspective, we need to do 5 things. 5 major things. So, Jean-Christophe Baril is the Senior Vice President at Nokia. I'll mention him a little later again also. He is probably the only Senior Vice President at Nokia who reports to the President of the company. And he basically runs the world's largest network. He's the person who is responsible for all their procurement, all their logistics, everything that happens in their systems right across the world. And he describes that as his day job. He describes his real job as connecting the inside of Nokia to the outside. And the role that he plays, and I see it in several other large companies, is what I call a chief network officer. A person who keeps the network alive 5 years.